Right now at 6, the Lynx bring their championship run back home.
The Lynx have a big night in their house as they try to gain an advantage in this series against the tough Liberty team. I'm Reggie Wilson, live at Target Center with the preview.
Then new details on a substitute teacher banned from a Woodbury high school after students and the district say he reenacted the murder of George Floyd in class.
The MEA travel chaos starts right now, even if you're not hitting the road or the skies. I'm Gordon Severson with the popular staycation ideas this year.
And why some Wisconsin farmers are trying to give away thousands of chickens. The news starts now. Right now, fans are pouring into Target Center for Game 3 of the WNBA Finals. The Lynx tip off against the Liberty, now just an hour away.
And at the same time, thousands are also filing through MSP for MEA weekend. Tomorrow is expected to be the busiest day at the airport. All of that, of course, is happening as a nice warm-up moves in to Minnesota, actually, for the long weekend.
We'll check in with Belinda soon for our full forecast. But first, let's go out to Gordon Severson at MSP, as thousands have been heading out all day. Hey, Gordon.
Hey, yeah, between today and tomorrow, airport officials are expecting more than 100,000 travelers will fly out of MSP. They say tomorrow could be the 5th busiest travel day ever here at the airport. But a lot of families are also staying put over MEA break, so I decided to go out and see where people are going. An apple orchard on a nice October day is like a match made in heaven.
It's still stinking beautiful out, so we're taking a full advantage of the weather.
Natasha is with a mom's group from Apple Valley, visiting Applewood Orchard. And get this, her last name is also Apple.
Yes, I really can't make that up. Me and my husband get it all the time. We're the Apples and we live in Apple Valley and we love apple orchards.
And they're not alone here at the orchard.
Just to get outside on a nice day.
Jenny Yonke and her 3 boys are playing in the corn pit. And they have big plans for the rest of MEA break.
We're heading out to the zoo tomorrow, and then we have some friends with school kids, my friend from work, coming to visit on Friday. So we've got a busy couple of days.
With it being MEA, we're really looking forward to seeing the churn out.
Jackson Cox and his family are preparing for a busy week here at the orchard. They bought the business over the summer, so this will be their first MEA break.
It's nice that we'll get into the lower 70s to the mid 60s for this weekend in MEA. I think that that's going to be a great temperature for everyone that's coming out.
He says apple growers have had a unique season with all the rain during the beginning of the summer. But other than that, they're ready for families who are out on their staycations.
So what I love most about Minnesota is there's so many great things to do around here. If we're not at the orchard, we're hanging out at the zoo. There's so many great indoor parks and just hanging out and getting some extra time with our kiddos.
Some other staycation ideas that I heard from parents today include going to a pumpkin patch to buy your Halloween pumpkins. I also heard from some people who are going to go to the movie theater, to the library, and some people are going to go on a nature hike to see the fall colors. So a lot of fun and affordable staycation ideas for you to choose from. Back to you.
Yep, just extra time with the kiddos. That's what it's all about. Thank you, Gordon. So how is the weather going to be this MEA weekend? Look at this beautiful shot tonight. Let's head out to Belinda in the backyard for a preview of this
Oh my
weekend.
goodness, looking at that little corn pit and that little cute little boy, I so remember my kiddos doing that. I love that idea and those memories. So this is going to be a nice matchup. We have beautiful weather. We have fall colors peaking, all of it coming together on a weekend when it's going to be too windy to rake. How about that? So this is the forecast tomorrow statewide. Lots of 60s and 70s, well above average. Our average right now is 58. And if you are going to be traveling up north, here is your forecast for the next 4 days. There's a slight chance that there could be an overnight shower Friday night if you're camping into Saturday morning there in Duluth. But otherwise, other than wind, so it will be a bit breezy, but that's what's drawing in all the warm temperatures. We'll come back with your fall color report, and we'll also talk about what's going to be going on statewide after the weekend.
All right, thank you, Belle. What a huge opportunity for the Minnesota Lynx tonight as they bring their WNBA championship run to Target Center.
Target Center is filling up quickly tonight. Reggie Wilson's live on the court with a preview of tonight's matchup. Reggie?
Hey, you hear the music going. It's a vibe in here already, and the Lynx have opened up the whole arena tonight for fans, and it should be rocking for this Game 3. But even with that fact, The Lynx are 3.5-point underdogs in this one tonight, but Courtney Williams says she doesn't care if they're top dog, little dog, underdog, as long as they're a dog. And that's really been the Lynx mentality all season. They're not easily rattled, and even when they might seem to be out of it, they never believe they are. We saw that on display in Game 1, and they'll need to keep that mindset through the rest of the series starting tonight. Head coach Cheryl Reeves said at this point, there's no extra motivation she can provide. It's all will from the best of the best.
It's great players, being great. Coaches will impact 25% of the game. And I think at this point, neither coach is really going deep in their bags of changing things. Both teams have great players and great styles.
All right, we just actually talked to Cheryl Reeve in what turned out to be a pretty lengthy pregame press conference, but coming up in sports, hear what she had to say about her point guard, but don't call her a point guard, Courtney Williams.
All right, we'll see you in a little bit. Thank you, Reggie. And as we take a look at the series schedule, something to note, if the Lynx win tonight, they could close out the series Friday night at home, which would be fantastic. But that, of course, means ticket prices would likely spike for Game 4. The game is 7 o'clock on Friday night. So you might want to grab those now if you're interested. If the series has to go to a Game 5, that would be Sunday back in New York.
Some serious allegations tonight against a substitute teacher. According to Woodbury High School students, the teacher twisted a student's arm behind their back, spoke about a bar fight, and reenacted the police actions that led to the murder of George Floyd with a student. Lou Ragoose is here with more details on this story. Lou?
Rena, this substitute teacher is also a police officer in Prescott, Wisconsin. And according to a letter from the South Washington County Schools to families, the sub told them he thought students would want to hear about his life as an officer. But after getting student complaints, the principal pulled him out of the classroom mid-period.
A Woodbury High School student tells Kare 11 News these photos show a substitute teacher demonstrating the same hold Derek Chauvin used on George Floyd. The context, according to students, is that the teacher was claiming the restraint did not cause Floyd's death. In a letter to families, the South Washington County School District placed that reenactment at the top of a list of 11 complaints made about the sub, who is also a police officer in western Wisconsin. Students also reported that the man twisted a student's arm behind the student's back and showed pressure points on the chin and face, invaded students' space and mimicked holding up a gun and pointing it at students, and that he spoke in disturbing detail about dead bodies he had seen and shared explicit details about 2 sexual assault cases he investigated.
So inappropriate and in so many different ways.
Superintendent Julie Nielsen spoke with Kathy Werzer on NPR News.
I'm wondering, could some of the students have misconstrued what was happening in any way? Is there video of these incidents?
There are videos of the incidents, and there are also audio recordings of the incidents and the behaviors that occurred in the classroom on Monday.
After the principal removed the substitute teacher from the school, they asked Woodbury police to trespass him so he can't come back. Teachers on Call, the placement service that employed the sub, said in a statement that he no longer works there, saying, quote, "We have a zero-tolerance policy for any form of violent, aggressive, or harmful behavior."
Late this afternoon, the Prescott police chief told me he put this officer on administrative leave while the incident is being investigated. He says the allegations, if true, are very disturbing and reprehensible. I called the officer directly, but he did not return my messages, and we're not naming him at this time because he's not been charged with any sort of crime. Rena?
All right, thank you, Lou. Well, we are less than 3 weeks out from election night in the U.S., and the candidates are crisscrossing the country trying to get all the support that they can. Tonight, Vice President Kamala Harris is on her way to Wisconsin after visiting Pennsylvania today. She'll make several stops in the battleground state tomorrow, including La Crosse, Milwaukee, and Green Bay. The latest polls from the Wall Street Journal, The Hill, and Quinnipiac all have mixed results on whether she or former President Trump is leading in Wisconsin. Republican vice presidential nominee J.D. Vance also making a pitch to swing state voters. He rallied in Pennsylvania earlier today and is in North Carolina right now for a rally. The latest polling from Pennsylvania has Harris with a slight lead over Trump. And a new poll from Rasmussen shows Trump has a 5-point lead over Harris in South Carolina. Here at home, people are getting out the vote early, including Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan. She stopped by the Hennepin County Government Center to cast her ballot with 2 first-time voters. They join a few 100,000 other Minnesotans who have voted early in the 2024 general election.
Early voting is a way for us to make sure that we can vote when it's convenient for us as a student, right? Like this was easy for Aaliyah to do. And also, frankly, get it in the bank. I feel like, there's a lot of folks who may be a little nervous or worried about this election. One of the best ways to feel less anxiety is to just cast that ballot, get it done with.
According to the Secretary of State's office, every Minnesotan has at least one location where they can vote early in person with an absentee ballot. If you're not registered to vote, you can register in person at your local elections office or at your polling place on Election Day. The last day to vote early is Monday, November 4th, the day before the general election.
It is almost the most wonderful time of the year. Just a few hours ago, we here at Kare 11 kicked off this year's Toys for Tots drive, bringing together the U.S. Marines and community partners, including our generous sponsors, Kowalski's, St. Paul Federal Credit Union, and Honda. The goal for 2024, collect more than 240,000 toys for kids across the Twin Cities. Today, organizations picked up their collection boxes and made plans to help make that happen. We will start receiving donations in just 47 days on December 2nd here at Kare 11.
When we come back, a scramble for farmers in Wisconsin after they're being forced to get rid of thousands of chickens.
Plus, even after intense flooding in Minnesota this year, downstream, an extreme drought is revealing a secret path to an iconic spot on the Mississippi.